Wealth and Wisdom with the Market Guys. Business, real estate, investing, retirement, stocks, options, trading, financial opportunities, and political issues that will affect your portfolio. Keeping you informed of the latest financial news and trends in investing, trading, real estate, and business, this is Wealth and Wisdom with the Market Guys. Here are your hosts, Rick Swope and AJ Monte.
Hello and welcome to Wealth and Wisdom with the Market Guys. I'm AJ Monte. Today's program is being dedicated to the master traders. We have a guest with us today who's going to help us understand the concepts of what it means to be a trader and the importance of some of the indicators that we need to pay attention to when calculating risk and picking direction in the market. Now, Rick, you and I always talked about the importance of keeping things simple, looking at price and volume and things like that. So we're going to have a good time talking about those today, and we'll have some examples for people to look at as well.
Yeah, it's, today's show is going to be interesting, AJ, because it's a mix between not just the technical aspect, but I think you're going to be very interested in our guest's background. Also, we're going to talk a little bit about that. Our guest today is Fari Hamzei. He's the founder of Hamzei-Analytics, LLC. They're in their 8th year of providing cutting-edge proprietary analysis and indicators to institutional and professional traders. He is frequently quoted by CNBC. Mr. Hamzei is the author of the new book. We're going to say the upcoming book, but it's the new book, Master Traders, Strategies for Superior Returns from Today's Top Traders, and that's published by Wiley & Sons. He's written several articles that have been published in Technical Analysis of Stocks and Commodities magazine and eSignal.com website. He's a graduate of Princeton University with a BSc in Financial Engineering, and he was formerly a Director of Strategic Planning at Northrop Grumman Corp. Fari, thank you for joining us. That was kind of a handful on the background, but I know that you have a very interesting background. Now, I actually want to start as kind of a setup to the show today. You and I were talking a little bit before the show. Your background is from Iran, and of course that is a country in the news today for a variety of reasons. And we were talking a little bit about through the course of our discussion today. I think we'll be weaving a little bit of that discussion of kind of the socio-economic implications of just what's going on in current events. But just as a starter, I understand that you actually came to the U.S. when you were 14. Your father had a diplomatic assignment, if I'm correct. That's intriguing to me, and I think it will be to our audience also. Can you just give us a little bit of how that came about? What brought you over here?
Absolutely. Actually, let me say thank you for both of you to invite me here. I'm honored to be with you on your program. Yes, I came here about the age of 14. My dad was Air Force attaché at the Iranian embassy. Worked for Ambassador Zahedi, son of the Shah. And first pilot, actually, to assign to that position. And he bought probably most of the modern Air Force Iran has. What he didn't know, and of course that was fueled by the quadrupling of oil prices in 1973, post Yom Kippur War.
This is mid-70s.
73, exactly, October 73. Shah promised to Nixon and Kissinger that we will provide oil to Israel. We will not be part of the oil embargo against, the Arab oil embargo against the U.S., but not these prices. And since as I have mentioned earlier with Steve Lee in the waiting room there, I reminded him of the British Empire decision to leave east of Suez back in 60, I believe, 8 or 69. So there was a vacuum created in the Persian Gulf, and the Shah came in as the inheritor of the 25 centuries of Persian Empire, egomaniac. And I mean, I haven't met a Persian who didn't have a big ego, including yours truly. Including yours truly.
Show right now.
No, he's not. No, actually, there's a long story. Why he had a problem why his son couldn't be admitted to Princeton after he had given $5 million to Princeton. That's a different story. We'll get to that. But he came in saying, "Look, I'll fill in that vacuum, but I can't do it with the U.S. foreign aid. from Foggy Bottom,
Right.
State Department. So I will raise the price at the right time. Well, the right time was handed to him during the Yom Kippur War. So he raised the price from $3 to 12. One of my economic advisor at Princeton was Charles Ezavi. In 77, I found that he was also advisor to the Shah up to 73. He was against it. Charles Ezavi came from Cambridge. He was actually, he was one of the chairs that was endowed from the $5 million the Shah gave in anticipation of his son would one day would go to Princeton and get in. Princeton is a very egalitarian school. It doesn't care where you're coming from. You got to have the points. If you don't have the points, you're going to have trouble.
Right.
His granddaughter was there. Mahnaz Zahidi's daughter was there, but the Crown Prince couldn't get in. So long story. Back to here. I think the mistake, the seeds of problems were sown back then. The oil price is going up from 3 to 12, 400% overnight. Created havoc economically. No economy can withstand that kind of inflationary pressure. They went from rags to riches overnight. Corruption was rampant. There were excesses. There were things built that was wrong, or like military was built up. Then you need bases, you need infrastructure and so on, and that gives you a chance to have politicians skimming the books, all that. That created the downfall of the Shah. Then came the peanut farmer here.
Right.
He didn't know how to manage this thing. He went with Cy Vance versus Brzezinski. Okay. And then came in General Heiser, deputy to Alexander Bush. I mean, Alexander Haig, I'm sorry. Alexander Haig. General Heiser was the deputy commander of NATO. He came to Iran. He was an Air Force guy. My dad was an aide-de-camp to him. You see him in all the pictures. And from what my dad tells me, he was trying to keep the Air Force command in line, and also the Army and the Navy, but mainly the Air Force, because that had the speed and the battle power to keep a normal transition. What they knew the Shah was going to go.
Right.
There's a meeting at Niravaran Palace when there's Sullivan, Shah, Heiser, and my dad. And Heiser looked at his watch and says, "Your Excellency, your time is up. We really got to get you out of this country."
And that's a new chapter, absolutely, right after that.
Well, the problem is it was uncalculated chapter. Nobody knew about who is Khomeini until September of '78, when Saddam requested the Shah not to insult the Shah and said, "This crazy dude in Najaf, can we get him out of here because he's causing too much problem inside Iraq?" So he went to Neufeld Chateau, and then we sent him our dear friend Mike Wallace to find him.
Well, this is
when Mike Wallace showed up there, everything changed.
Well, this is bringing back memories for me because during that very same time,